Hello, my name's Adrian Houston. I'm a tax consultant and a journalist, and I would welcome you to the lovely Umbrian hill town of Spoleto. We're in a hotel overlooking the town, and I'm going to talk about what happens if you've moved abroad but you've retained rental property in the UK. I will talk about the need to communicate with HMRC, the forms you use, and the sorts of things that you can claim tax relief on. So, you live outside the UK, but you've got rental property in the UK. Are there any things that you need to do about your tax? Well, the answer is yes, because if you do nothing with HMRC, then your letting agent must deduct basic rate tax from the rent, and then they have to pay that over to HMRC. And if you think that's got round by not having a letting agent, bizarrely this law actually requires your tenant to deduct the tax and pay it over to HMRC. Now we can all imagine how much fun that would be. So what's the way to get round this basic rate tax deduction? The simple way to do it is to register with HMRC as a non-resident landlord. By doing this, you're saying to the taxman, I will send you a tax return every year and tell you about my UK income, and I'll pay you any tax that might be due. In this circumstance, then HMRC will not require basic rate tax to be deducted by your letting agent or your tenant. To start the process off, you can engage a non-resident expert like myself, or you can do it yourself using the form NRL1. That's non-resident landlord. NRL1. NRL1 form tells HMRC where you're currently living, what you're doing, and where your UK property is and the sort of amount of rent you're expecting to receive. At the end of the form, you're signing to confirm that the information is correct and that you promise to send HMRC a tax return if they want it, and to pay any tax that's due. Once you've got your form in place, you will then be sent tax returns by HMRC. They may eventually stop if the income's low, but you have to then wonder, well, what can I claim tax relief on? And we'll move on to think about that now. So, you've registered with HMRC or paid someone like me to do it on your behalf, and you're wondering what you can claim tax relief on and what's taxable. Well, what's taxable is relatively easy. That's the rents which are due. So that actually means 12 months rent. Even if someone is a couple of months behind on the rent, you have to declare the full amount. You don't declare things like breakage deposits which you take from the tenant at the start of the tenancy. Then in terms of tax relief, you can claim tax relief on most of the expenses you'll incur as you run your rental property. These will be things like insurance, normal day-to-day repairs and redecorating, paying your letting agent, paying your accountant, loan interest for a loan you needed in order to buy that property, and the various maintenance type things like cutting the grass, cutting the hedges, etc. Note, you can't claim to pay yourself for doing that. Say you do a lot of maintenance when you're back in the UK for a short while. You can't claim expense for what you would have paid another gardener. If you've done the work, you won't claim a tax relief. So, knowing those things, your tax return can be completed, and because you're non-resident, all you're declaring is your rental income and any UK-based income you have. So say, for instance, you've left a bank account in the UK and you get a bit of interest on it. You would declare that. If you're a British person, chances are you will get your full tax-free personal allowance to set against your rents. So if you're only letting out one property, there'd probably be no tax to pay at all. So, on that final note, I bid you goodbye from Umbria in Italy, and wherever in the world you live and have your UK rental property, I hope you keep your tax affairs nice and sweet, and do feel free to call me if you need a hand. My number is 0044 28 90 6080. Thank you.